Hello, everyone. This is Xavier Xavier, creator, host of Samamba, here of Playtime, and also mentor in Samamba. I'm here with Michelle Andrea, the first artist of the first season of Playtime, and also the first artist we are testing our artist season of Samamba, which like basically Playtime is part of the artist season. So basically here we are introducing you first, like firsthand, the artists that we will be working with throughout the next months. So that's the whole idea. And now we are small in this screen because we are waiting for the people to arrive in this live stream. So actually now I'm gonna leave you with Santo Anthony, our DJ. Enjoy a little bit for a while his DJ set while we are inviting people in the social media to come join us. This will be short. And yeah, enjoy a little bit for his DJ set. And if you want, in the meantime, please check Michelle out. We have the QR code here for you. Go there, get to know her already, follow her to already start supporting this artist. So soon we're gonna start the conversation, and yeah, I'm just muting myself for a little while now. Hello everyone. We're about to start in 3 minutes the episode, the first episode of Playtime. I'm Michelle Xavier, creator of SAMAMBA. Now here with you, the host, and I'm here with Michelle Andrea, the artist of the first season of Playtime. So I'm gonna start soon. Please enjoy the amazing DJ set that Santo Anthony, our fellow friend, prepared for us for this episode. And I'll be back with you. We will be back with you soon in 3 minutes. Hello everyone, I'm Xavier, creator of SAMAMBA. Please let me know if you're listening to to us, because we cannot listen to ourselves. So please let us know in the chat if you can hear as well, or if it's, I don't know, like if there's any problems with the audio. That's important, right? So yeah, thank you, Anthony. Man, thank you so much for this DJ set. The DJ is here together with us in the chat.
Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks also to let us know if the sound is good. But yeah, let me tell you a little bit like who we are, what we're doing here. And yeah, what are we gonna do actually? So basically, this is the playtime is our online content to boost one artist that we are working with throughout a few months. And Michelle Andrea is the first artist that we are working with. So this is all a lot of like tests, that we are doing. And the idea of playtime is that we have 5 episodes, which in each one of them we will be exploring a little bit some aspects of the artist. So we have this first one is called Who Are You Really? So basically the idea here is to explore a little bit more the bio of the artist, their story, how it connects to their artwork, also like their childhood. But yeah, so you can get to know them a little bit better. So basically it's like, how are you? Who are you? The first contact that you have with the artist that we'll be working with in the next months. And then after these 5 episodes, we are based in Barcelona. So after these 5 episodes, we will be creating events, or also helping Michelle get to know, connect Michelle with other people that works within arts and culture here in Barcelona art scene. So the idea is that first we do this online content so we can also reach people that are everywhere, in US, like probably you have a lot of people based there, but also like everywhere in the world, wherever we can reach with this content. So we can also help this artist abroad. But currently we are a small team of five people, I think, around that. And we are based in Barcelona, so we can help better the artists that want to be here with us. Thank you, Carlos. The layout is very cool.
Thank you.
But we have more stuff that we're gonna show you. So we're gonna change the screen very soon for you. Actually, let's do it right now. I guess we can already start to introduce Michelle a little bit. So this is the first part of it is like, who are you really?
Yeah.
So I don't know, tell us a little bit about yourself, and just start.
Yeah, I can use this information to help guide. But yeah, I'm Michelle Andrea. It is my middle name. Fun fact, my best friend is Andrea Michelle.
The other way around. Yes. Are you opposites or?
Yes, very opposite.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm a mixed media artist, and that basically means mixing media. So media is whatever you use to create art. And well, later on we'll talk about how I studied painting, but that's like my foundation. I'm very traditional, and I like to incorporate things into that media, like collage, and I mean, obviously like ceramics and stuff like that. Actually, when I was a little girl, I really wanted to be a film director. So someday I hope to start incorporating film into my work. I do incorporate sound. Well, I have, but right now I'm not focusing on that, but I would love to. So that's how you can get an idea of like the mix of
where it is coming from. Like you like to experiment with different mediums, techniques.
But that's like many artists, they don't stick to just one thing, and it's good. That's part of being an artist.
Yeah, it's like it is kind of like I like to say that artists are like researchers and investigators also, you know, not only about themes but also about how to materialize something, an idea, for example.
Actually, I don't know how long we can like
not much into detail.
But I just have a really nice comment about that artists are researchers, because so I studied painting, but it's considered studio art. And I just love that word studio because it comes from Latin, which means studious. And studious means to study. So what are you doing? You're studying art. Like that's what you do in the studio. You study, you research, you study these topics. You have to learn about these things to be able to produce this artwork. So I just thought that was really cute. Like I'm a studio artist, which means I'm a studier. Like
100%. I really see it like that. And why are you like a Venezuelan American? Like, can you explain a little bit about this?
Well, I was born in Venezuela, but I don't know if anyone knows about the situation. I'm sure you know about the situation in Venezuela. We know like South America has a rough history and current, like present, but about in 1999, there came a dictator, Hugo Chavez, and my parents were like, yeah, we're out of here. We're giving our daughter a better future. And so we moved to the US. So I lived almost my whole life in the United States. I got to visit Venezuela and I hope to go back soon. But yeah, so that's the story. Long story short, I'm from Venezuela, but I grew up in the United States. And being there, like I felt I was always different. I was, you know, a foreigner, but I was a foreigner to the Americans, and I'm American to Venezuelan people.
So you're like you're in between most of the times of how you feel, like
And I think this really impacts my work a lot. I mean, you know, artists, they do a lot of work which is identity based, but I don't know, like throughout my life, there were many times where Venezuelan people would say, oh, you don't know about that, you're American. My own people saying that to me, I was like, you know, and I never said anything to them, but I always had like this, like, oh, like I'm Venezuelan, or like you can't tell me who I am, what I am.
Who you are, what you are.
So I think I really use artwork to express that.
Okay, so you do connect this theme of being misplaced in your art.
It's like my way to speak up what I never said.
Okay.
So now we are in Barcelona. I came to study in Barcelona. We came about 2 years ago. And before that, I knew I wanted to live in Europe for some time because of this, because it was not ever my decision to move to the US. I'm very thankful for my parents doing that. But it was never my decision. So my whole like teenage years and like, you know, all the time there, I was very rebellious and like not wanting to be there. So I always knew I wanted to live in Europe for some time. And this opportunity came for this master's in art and cultural management where we met. And so I came to Barcelona without like any idea, and I came. I met here my boyfriend. I don't think he's on.
Well, go on. Step up
I
your
sent him
game.
the link.
No, but actually, yes, for those who don't know, me and Michelle, we studied together. That's how we met in the master at WIC, Universidad Internacional de Catalunya. We studied like, as you can see here on the card, we studied a master in arts and cultural management. And that's how we met. That's how we started a relationship. We're not even that close, but after like right in the end, we started to like collaborate together for SAMAMBA, and I also got to know better her work and what she wanted to do as well. And that's how we developed this relationship between us, friendship, but also like working together. And it has been very nice to get to know you and more as a person, but also as an artist. And I've been helping also Michelle to develop further, like take her next step in her career and concept and vision, and make it a bit more structured and, like, I would say, I don't know, focused. I don't know.
Yeah, like specific.
Yeah, a bit more specific, and how we can communicate this for you, to the public, no? Because it's very important for especially emerging artists to be known for something and to show that they're doing work and that they know what they're doing. Like, be very clear to curators, to other cultural managers about their vision, what they're studying, no, the study part, their concept, and how they are showing this, like, in a very consistent way. That's very important for any emerging artist like Michelle to have very clear and know how to communicate, no? Yeah. So in the last weeks, that's what the work that we were trying to do: investigate her goals, her vision, what she likes to study, so later we could craft some strategies to communicate this to others. So people from the field of arts and culture that are here in Barcelona, but also globally, but also to the public like you. Actually, I'm curious, like, who people are saying stuff.
I know. I really like Anthony's comment.
What did he say?
David Bowie, who obviously you know who David Bowie is.
Yeah, for sure.
He's known for his
music.
music.
If you don't know, come on, look it up.
But he said he was a huge painter throughout his life, and actor. Yeah, I knew he was an actor. Actually, I didn't know. I knew he painted, but I didn't know he was a huge painter. But that's true. Like, artists mix everything together. I mean, you know, everything is art. But it's funny. I also love music, but it's not like my main thing.
Yeah, way of expression.
And there's many studio artists or like fine artists that are musicians as well. It's very connected. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, thank you. Actually, if you have any questions, something you would like to know, please shoot in the comments. That would be very nice. This is actually space for that, for you to get to know the artist. If you yourself have doubts also of how to develop your brand and you have doubts about that, please, like, shoot for both of us. We're here for you as well. It's not only about ourselves, but also for you. We also actually have another one. Do you find Barcelona, thank you, Alexandre. Do you find Barcelona an inspiring city for your art? Multiple cultures and people in one city. That's a very nice question, because we talk a lot about this topic, no, between us. This is my brother. Oh. Kisses.
Saludos. How do you say saludos?
And my uncle is there too. Chew. Beijo.
How do you say, like, hello? Eu não falo português. That's the only thing I know how to say.
Oi.
Oi.
Yeah.
Oi. Of course.
Oi, mano.
Of course, I find Barcelona inspiring. Like, just walking or just sitting down outside is very inspiring.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love the city.
And something I always notice, like, compared, you know, what I compare it to is the US, because that's where I lived. Over there, for example, if I go somewhere, I go by myself, I get in my car and I drive to my direction or like to my location, and I'm there, then I get in my car, like, it's just me in the car, you know what I mean? Like, when I travel, it's just me, and there's no, like, being close to someone physically is not acceptable. You must be, you have your distance, people your don't say hello.
Your private space, like, even in a car. Yeah, personal space. Yeah.
And here in the metro, you see so many people. I'm sure everybody loves to people watch, like, observe, but artists especially,
that's so
we
true.
Observe, like, to paint, you know, a still life. A still life is set up with, like, apples or fruit, whatever. Like, you have to observe, very, very detailed, because that's what you're going to paint. So imagine, like, it being in the metro. I really, like, I really observe
you. Yeah, that's cool.
And it is very inspiring.
And actually, what I was going to say about that, I mean, overall, like, in Barcelona is great, because it's a city for the people, I feel, you know? It's like, and actually this is connected to this content, the people, no? And culture. And I feel that Barcelona as a city was built for people. It is still like developing for people. You know, we have like many public squares. We actually have a friend, Lauren, that she works with that, like how to make public spaces more, with that we also met in the master, how to make public spaces even more like engaging, you know, for the citizens of a city. So Lauren, for example, works with a company that are, I think the headquarters are here in Spain, but they do globally stuff. And that's very cool that not only Spain and Barcelona are doing that, but also other cities in the world, no? But yeah, like also another thing that I wanted to talk is about Michelle's artworks a little bit, like how they connect with you, and yeah, like a little bit of how this past connects with what you do, and even the current situation, the present. So the first one is actually the in situ, right? So we have this Polaroid pictures here that I would like you to to explain a little bit what they're doing here, and and why that. So in situ is the name, right, of one of your series. So just as a context for everybody to understand, we are helping Michelle with two different series for her to develop them further, and for us later on after playtime we're gonna be creating events around the city, inviting curators to get to know these two series of actually more the people series that we are aiming for galleries and curators. And in situ it's a bit different, and I think we can explain a little bit now what is the goal of this series and what it's about. So tell us a little bit about like these pictures and how it connects with in situ.
So in situ is a Latin term, an archaeological term, which means that an object, an artifact was found in the place of its origin, in its original place. So it didn't move from the excavation. And I see your question, Andrea, what did you find inspiring in the Indianapolis? Well, I think this connects to this idea of being in situ, because like for me, like I said, I'm from Venezuela, so I was not, when I found myself as an artist, I was not in situ. I was not in my place of origin. So I feel like that, like the mix of being from somewhere and somewhere else, like being mixed in with another origin, kind of like that, really affected for this series. So that's the name of the series, in situ.
Yeah, so here is it, the institute. Cool. And then why is the first photo?
Okay.
Like what is this? And also the second one, like both of them. Like how are they connected with in situ? We're trying to also bring a connection, no, of like the past and what you're doing now. So and especially for in situ is very interesting, no, like to how and why you're doing this as well, and how it connects to you as a person.
So in the top photo is from a day at school that was like career day. So you could dress up. I don't know how old I was. I was maybe like 8 years old. So I dressed up as an archaeologist because from all my childhood, I wanted to be an archaeologist. And so I dressed up as that to go to school. I love like digging up rocks and things, and I just love the story. Like later on in my art history classes in college, I noticed, oh, that's why I loved archaeology so much. It's because it's art history. It's finding and culture. It's finding culture of the past and art of the past.
Objects.
But I mean, I just didn't know why I liked that so much, especially at that age. But I was obsessed with hieroglyphs, like Egyptian gods and everything, and I studied classical education, so we studied Latin, we studied
Institute, you mentioned it's Latin.
It's Latin, because a lot of that terminology of archaeology is also Latin.
Yeah, for sure.
And we studied like ancient Greek and Roman education, so I was in love with that like ancient stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's the first picture.
And the second?
And the second is in Venezuela with my dear mother. She's so cute.
Yeah, she is very
And I
cute.
think there I was about 13. Yeah, I
Okay.
was 13 years old. And the image in the distance that you can see, it's like a man and then also like an artifact behind him. This is actually where my original inspiration to paint these type of artifacts came from. He's a Venezuelan artist. His name is Mateo Manaure. And he's a very
So
famous.
this is a portrait of him?
Yeah,
of
it's a
Mateo.
photograph.
Okay.
Yeah, an actual photograph of the actual artist Mateo Manaure
Mm-hmm.
in the Mateo Manaure Museum
Okay.
in Maturin in Venezuela.
Okay. Vale.
Yeah, and so this famous Venezuelan artist, he was friends with my grandmother. And for me, that was like a very special connection because I don't have, like, no one in my family is an artist, at least not a fine artist. You know, maybe I have an aunt that's a chef and stuff like that. They're artistic in their own way, but a fine artist, I didn't have anyone in my family like that to look up to. So I loved that my grandma was friends with this famous, like
super
amazing,
famous
artist. And he would always gift her drawings, paintings, and you know, she didn't really keep them, or like I don't know what happened to them, but she kept one of them for me. And that was like her inheritance for me. And one day I finally got to visit my family in Colombia, and I had that drawing in my hand, so I felt really not connected, but like I felt like it was very special because
Yeah, for sure. It's from the famous
from
artist,
this
and
famous
he gave it
artist.
to your grandma.
And
no?
it was like
it's-
a very sweet way for my grandmother to be interested in what I like in
That's
my
true.
art world. And so I had it in my hands. I rolled it up, you know, to save it and take back with me to the US. And then on the day before that I had to leave, we never found that. We never found that drawing ever again. And so then it was like,
That's
okay,
a disaster.
I lost again, like that part of me, or not, you know, but that's how like I'm connecting it. It's exaggerated, this explanation.
Yeah.
And so I lost that drawing. So once I got back to the US, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make my own version of this drawing that I love. So that's where this series came from. I made that painting, and I'm sure many people have seen it. I'm just gonna see if I can find it really quick. Well, my version is this one.
Of that, the painting of Manaure.
Yes, so it comes from his original, but this is my version.
It's so cool. I love this painting.
Thank you.
I really
Actually, I really love this painting too. It might be one of my favorites.
it's so cool.
And yeah, so I think it's a really interesting connection as well. Like, I lost that drawing, like I lost other cultural things in my life, and I make my own version.
Yeah.
So that's like the idea with continue with this series.
Yeah.
I make my own version of
Yeah.
my story or something.
And okay, and just for your information too, this it's like mirrored, so I'm a bit like okay. So this slideshow that you're seeing here on my site, which it's here actually. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So those are artworks from In Situ.
Yes.
You know? Like they are part of the series. They're not the artworks actually. They are the characters. No, like the artifacts.
Yeah.
That you kind of like humanize. I don't know. I think you're the best person to like call how you see it. You know, but like this slide basically is showing some of the artifacts that Michelle has been developing in the last months for In Situ series. And I think also the important thing, like I mentioned before quickly, that we want to help her, to connect Michelle Andrea as an artist here, no, in Barcelona, but also to the world through to the internet. No, there's no boundaries anymore, like geographically.
Yeah.
So The goal with in situ is to actually help her get some income stream. No, like, so this is also the idea, is to become a more popular artwork series. No, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Why we're doing this as well?
Yeah, I'm doing this because for me as an artist, I don't know, this is where I consider myself a true artist, because I think art should not have a price. In fact, I mean, this also comes from like my childhood, like the professors I had, the art teachers that I had. I remember in high school, my teacher would say, sign your name on the back, like your signature, put it on the back, because that takes away from the artwork. Don't put a price on your artwork, because that takes away from the artwork. So I always grew up with
always put it. Like, it's very important. Put it.
Yeah, now I agree, but that's like what I was raised with, and artistically.
Yeah. No, but it's like a lot of artists, they don't sign anywhere, you know, like...
now I changed that.
And at least in the background of the artwork, you should always... That's already the first shove as a mentor for artists. Tip.
It's
Please sign your works. People need to know who you are, even if you don't want to sign it in the... you know, in the art, like on the surface, please do it in the background, in the back of the painting or the drawing, whatever it is, you know, that you're doing.
Now I definitely suggest that, sign your work. But in the past, like with my teachers and stuff, they made this seem like it's not about you, it's not about the price, it's not about anything, it's about the art. So first of all, it should never be for sale and stuff like that. But then, you know, we're in the modern day, artists need to make money. That's what
and even before, like actually artists as a career started like that, no, like basically rich people paying for the artists to create beauty, you know, or to portray them, like with the portraits, no, like to create this story about that family, for example, no, or to show some status within their family. So artists, has always been a career first, and then it became a status, I feel like, you know. But artist is another type of work, just like any other type of workers.
It's a job,
you know, it's a job, and you should be paid for this job, you know.
But so I really struggled with this.
In situ artifacts and...
that's what I'm saying. Like I struggled with this because I never wanted to be an artist to sell my work for the money, you know, because I believe in art. I don't believe in the money. But I know I need to sell work because that's the job. Like it's not just painting and it's so beautiful. It's like, okay, I need to sell this to keep going. And
exactly. And artists needs to understand themselves as a business. No, like their artworks, I'm sorry about the term, a lot of people don't like it, but it's a product, and we have to modify how we understand the word product. No, because product now it's like distorted a little bit. We think about capitalism and this kind of stuff. It's not that. Product, if you look on the dictionary what it means and the synonyms for that, product is something that is created, basically, like it's something that you created. It's a product from you, the artwork, you know, and that's what I mean. The artist is the creator of that product, and it's almost like, if we put in like more like business terms, the artwork is the product, the artist is the brand, like the artist is like this person that needs to sell this product for others, not necessarily for the final collector or anything, but they need to communicate what they're doing, you know, and their vision. This is very important, especially for today buyer. More and more people want to buy stuff. This can be artworks as well. This can be CDs, like the vinyls. It doesn't matter the product of art we're talking here, but people want to understand why they're buying this and how this reflects who they are as well as consumers. And actually we have a question here. Are there any specific challenge from Andy? Thank you, Andy, for the question. If you have any other question, please shoot. Are there any specific challenges or rewards you've encountered as an artist?
Yes, but I just want to say that's about in situ, about this series. That's why this one is the series that I'm going to commercialize. Like this one is the one that is the product,
more popular
yeah,
for the
merchandise. I don't know, anything you can think of to commercialize. This is the one, but I always
Prints.
I always knew I wanted to have two things, like one very serious that is for exhibiting.
Traditional art market, because there's also this difference. Like, we know as a matter of fact that there is the traditional art world, that it is required some standards, it's, if we talk about tradition, it's already squared. There's already rules for us to follow, but we know that there are also other ways for an artist to live, and this can be the more pop, like, because this can bring to them, especially emerging when they are starting, some sources of income that can still be made through their creativity, through their techniques, and not necessarily already being a painting of 5,000 euros, because they're still emerging. People don't know them yet. So their artworks won't be as valuable as someone that is already in the field for 10, 15 years. That's the reality of the art market, the traditional one. So how can an artist emerging, just starting their career as an artist, still live as an artist, right? Is through this more popular, more mass artistic, creative products that can be created as well.
So actually, I would say that is a specific challenge that I've encountered as an artist, because many times, it's just very difficult to start. It is a job, like you were saying, it's a job like any other, but it's a job that is harder to start and get going, because in any job, like I said to you, okay, for example, just an example, a dentist, you go to dentist school, you graduate, you are a dentist, and where do you go work? Do you go to a circus? You go to a farm? Where does a dentist belong? In a dentist
office,
clinic. Or you can start your own clinic, but I don't think I would want like a dentist to do something else, like a job that's not a dentist, like to check my eye or something. I don't know. Maybe
I get it. It's like they're specialists also.
So, but that's what I mean. Like, okay, you graduate and you go here.
It's and very specific, very predictable of what.
But with art, you graduate and you have this, and it's like, where do you go? Oh my god!
Like, so much. It's so true.
Yeah, like we were just talking at the beginning. Like David Bowie, he was a musician, but also a painter, or anyone. Like I do so many things. I could be a musician. I could be a film director. I could be this. I chose painting and fine art, studio art, because that's what I'm better.
This is also important to define a little bit. Like, we have free will always, but in certain stages of the artist's career, it's important to follow and be known for something. Otherwise, it's the same thing. Like, okay, what am I if I have so many paths to go?
But this is the challenge, is to get like started, because nobody takes you seriously when you're so young, and not just by age, but young in your career. And it's very tricky.
And it makes sense. Like, people want to invest their time, their money in people they trust, in things that they trust. And this also means creators that need to trust that that artist won't bail in 3 years, because it's an investment of time, of money, to take care of an artist. So they need to trust that this artist is really serious about being an artist and following this path for years, I think that's something that emerging artists need to understand. It's important to show consistency, be serious about your work, about your concept, about your technique, what you're investigating, and also be serious about how to develop yourself to be better communicator, about what you do, better communicator with the public, with the creators, or with your art as well, you know.
And maybe that's another challenge, because even established artists, for example, we were talking to an artist a few weeks ago, and
Todd Westover.
Well, we asked him, or any established artist that you ask them, what is your work about, or like, to explain their artwork, they're like, well, it's very challenging to explain. And I like something that Constance Skopolidis said. She's an artist. Maybe you can look her up. I also have a podcast. She's on that podcast. But she said artists need to tie their ankles to a chair and write your artist statement. You have to know. You have to explain, because the story is what sells.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what you're painting. It doesn't matter what the artwork is. Like how you explain.
We have to hurry a little bit, so we're gonna be exploring in the next episodes of the series a bit more all of this that we're talking right now, more about the people series. That is the next one that we're going to talk a bit now, but also in situ, so you will understand more and more these artworks, more about Michelle also throughout the season. So we will have 4 episodes every other Thursday. So it's not every week, but every other Thursday. We're gonna always skip one, so you can miss us a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the idea. So we will have more 4 episodes, which will be exploring a bit more in depth the artwork and other topics. So let's move to the next one then, which is the people series, which is more related to like the more traditional art world, right?
Yes.
Like that's the target that we're gonna be targeting in this season that we're working together with Michelle. I mean SAMAMBA as a platform, SAMAMBA as a team. We are 5 people, like we're a crew of art managers, cultural managers, art historian as well, and we are like teaming up for the next months to help Michelle to achieve the goals that we set together in our previous weeks in the mentorship program that we're doing with her. So basically this is the series called The People, that is more targeted to curators, to art managers, to galleries, and will be helping her to connect with these people to get to know the series. And I would like you to introduce a little bit about the people series, what type of movement you're using here as well, like that you're following, the technique a little bit, and this concept, of course.
Yeah, so the concept, so it's called the people series because it's a lot of people, and the concept is about people as well. It's also about culture, like in situ, coming from one place, going to another, but that's something that I really, really enjoyed about culture. And at first I thought I wanted to paint about specific cultures, like nation or countries, because my story, coming from Venezuela to US, so I wanted to use like those cultures, but I want to use like other cultures as well. And then I realized as I was researching and studying, it's not just about country cultures, it's about human culture, because human culture is in these countries, obviously. So I love to paint people in scenes doing everyday things, but like things that overlap between other cultures. So you can see families playing in the snow, kids playing, the one of kids playing in a tent is called, some call this home, because the reality is some people don't live in a traditional home with walls and a roof. Maybe they sleep in a tent, or maybe they just sleep on the ground at the beach or something in these different cultures around the world.
Yeah, that's so true. So this, you're talking about this one.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm gonna put here. Yeah. And what, like, I'm gonna even zoom in a little bit, like I'm gonna put in my head
Okay.
so we can have more focus in the painting for now. What would you say is like the main aspects of the people series?
Yeah, like you were saying, what movement do I work in? And I guess for today I'm going to talk specifically about synthetism, because it comes from like the age of after like Impressionism. And I'm sure you've heard like the name Paul Gauguin. He's a very famous French artist. And So synthetism is about painting reality, but in a synthetic way. So I really love this. Like, I love incorporating abstract into like a real image, because I mean, people are real, but they don't look like this.
Yeah.
And synthetism also comes from like a lot of flat color, and this is something I really, really love for some reason. I don't know why. I think I just love how it looks. Like, it's very painterly on the canvas, and I like to play with the textures, some flat, some very somewhat realistic. Rodrigo says, when you are painting, what is more important, the final product or the process? I think for me, I love the process. It's more important to me, like, during the process, or like, it's more important to me, but I still consider the final product because I know that's important for the world.
So but there's also some self-satisfaction in the process for you.
I love the process, but then like towards the end I'm like, oh, I just want this to be over. Like, I just want to see the finished work. So sometimes I don't like the process, sometimes I do like the process, but, so I don't know,
it can be painful sometimes. No,
they're both important.
There's also a question by Mary Nima. Do you know these people?
Yes,
all of them.
Mary.
Eric, actually, it's nice painting.
Eric, thank you.
Thank you all for your support. It's actually very important that our friends, our family are here and slowly spreading this. So actually, if you can, I don't know, make a short video, post it on Instagram, tag us, Samamba or Michelle or both of us. That would be very, very important, because we're gonna have 4 other episodes, and it's important for other people to get to know Michelle. No, people that are not here today with us, but can be in the next one, and get to know her like profile, or Samamba's profile on the project. So but thank you so much for you to be here, sending the comments, the questions. This is very cool. Actually, we are just increasing the time because you are here, because if you were not, we'd be much more like fast, so this is really good
we
news.
would have been done by now.
We would have been done by now. So thank you so much for being here, for supporting. Time is valuable, we know, so thanks again. So Mary Nima asked, what normally comes first, the story or the painting, or do they meet in the middle?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
Oh. They meet in the middle sometimes. It depends on the painting, like I always say. It depends on the painting. Like, obviously, I think in general, maybe the story comes first, because it's like my story or like culture and stuff like that is what inspires me to paint. So I think in that sense, the story comes first. But, or maybe if I have like a specific story in mind, I'm like, oh, I want to paint this, then I will paint that. But if I'm just painting because I need to paint, I need to create more work, then I started painting and I'm like, I don't know what this is about. So in the middle, it starts to develop. I start to see the story. And that's when I understand. I love one of my painting professors, Mark Jacobson. He would always say, it's a conversation. The painting talks to you. Like, you have to, if you don't know what to do with this painting, you have to wait until it tells you what it needs. So that's how I work. Like, if I'm painting and I'm like, I don't like where this is going, I wait for the painting to speak to me and tell me what it needs, because each painting is its own.
So there is a timing, also like that you have to respect. Like it's a dialogue, as you said. In a dialogue, you never know how fast it will come, how will be the dynamic, And I feel this too for my own creations. Whenever I'm creating, there's time, and it's the process. Like, the time is also part of the process, and this dialogue of like, it's not there yet. They tell you, like it's not there yet, or it's it. Like that's how. Because also we need to put a limit, to ourselves as artists. Like, okay, here until here, that's it. Like, okay. So and how, like, what are you trying to investigate with the People series? Again, just a little bit more. I wanted to talk a little about this.
I think that goes back to what someone asked, like if Barcelona is inspiring, and we were saying that it's inspiring to look at people. So I think maybe anywhere I am, I'm very inspired by people and what they do. That's why I said it's more about human culture, what people do. We talk a lot about how in specific cultures, there's like very specific things of each culture. Like,
true. We're like, let's do something. Like, for example, the other day you said about how you ask for something in the table. Like, if something is far away, remember?
No, I don't remember this.
I
don't remember.
No, you said that you do like this.
Oh, yes.
No?
Yes. So in Venezuela, it's very common. Like, it's just body language. It's unspoken. What's that?
Intangible culture. No?
Yeah.
That's
like,
a topic that you also paint.
Yes. And this is what it's about, like these gestures in culture. So in Venezuela, you're right. I thought you were saying we were somewhere and I told you to pass me something.
No.
No, in Venezuela, when there's something over there and I'm like, can you hand me that? But like pretend I'm busy with my hands and I'm like, can you hand me that? They go like this.
To
like pointing, but with your lips. And I remember like an American man, he married a Venezuelan woman and he noticed this. He said, yeah, she just points like this.
What's her problem?
Yeah.
Like,
and then we also talk about how Italians, it's like a stereotype, like they talk with their hands. Or what's something of Brazil?
Of Brazil? Sassy like that. No, just kidding.
Really?
No, I just feel that Brazilians are sassy overall.
Yeah,
it's a sassy country, but I don't know if I can think about something now specifically. I don't know, maybe like do a lot of this, like when you're preparing something or like when you're getting ready.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have this gesture, but like for example, I'm ready, like, and you start to do this, like.
Yeah.
To show that you're warming up.
You're ready.
Basically. Like, yeah, I'm warming up, like for whatever action you're about to do.
Yeah.
It's something I do a lot, like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, now I've noticed that.
Yeah,
like now that you say it.
I do this often. And I think it's something Brazilian.
Yeah.
I don't recall seeing anywhere else, there I see people doing that, like, nice, we're cooking something,
So this is like these.
Actually, if you have one, like let us know. Like, I would love to take this as an opportunity for us to also know about other even topics for you to maybe paint. Other gestures or
from your country. What is something specific that is known for your general culture to do?
Yeah, like behaviors, gestures, or
that's what I love, like behaviors and gestures. And for a long time, it was very difficult to paint that because it's so specific.
Brazilians are smooth talkers, 100%.
Oh, I believe it. But I don't know, like, it's so specific, and like we said, it's intangible, something you cannot touch.
Which is very different from the other series.
Yeah.
Because In Situ is about objects, like artifacts, something that is totally tangible within culture.
Yeah.
So I think it's very interesting too, like how, like Fernando, he sent this, it's amazing, your paintings really express your personality. And not only personality, for sure, her personality, but also her background. Like we studied together arts and culture management.
Yeah.
Which we learn about culture. It was a multicultural environment because we had like many people from all over the world. It is an international course. If you think it's an interesting course for you, a master in arts and culture management, we did it week Universidad Internacional de Catalunya. So I don't know if you're curious to check if it makes sense for you. So yeah, like this is a huge topic in our lives, in yours as well, even because you're also paint on this topic. It can be heritage, which is more with the In Situ series, which is about heritage, sculptures and artifacts, but also with the people series. I think it's very cool because it's part also of your life.
And I was painting all this stuff because I just genuinely love it so much. And then once I had a few, I started realizing, I was like, wait, this is about culture. And then I kept painting and I was like, wait, man, I think I love culture. So then once I realized I love culture, I was like, okay, this is what I like to paint. And then I went to the masters.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I need to know more.
Going to the master was more after you realized this?
It was after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like a very conscious choice with the master. Like, okay, what's up here if I study this cultural thing?
I love that it was arts and culture, and I wanted to know more about culture.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so I don't know if anyone else has any other question. That's your moment, because we're about to end soon the first episode of Playtime with Michelle Andrea. So this is the first episode out of 5. So every other Thursday, we're gonna be here together to talk a little bit of one aspect of Michelle's life, artwork. Actually, the next one is we got a process, I think. So it's more about the process. So what types of, I don't know, materials she uses, where does she create, you know, like we go a bit deeper into the process topic, how she's exploring currently the process as well. So if you're interested in process for artwork, join us in the not next Thursday, but the other one, so in 2 weeks. But yeah, like this series Playtime is about that, and we're gonna do this with every artist, emerging artist, because Samamba focus on emerging artists. We like to say that we're a preschool on how to prepare in a more strategic way, you know, for the career of that artist, because it's something that we talked a lot, no, like in art school you're not taught how to be like, how to treat yourself as a like more business, you know, like for the art world.
Yeah, this
the
is
real
not
art
a thing
world.
at all in
Right.
art school. It's about colors, it's about painting. I mean, which is what you need to
Yeah,
study.
of
You need to
course.
study about how to perfect your technique and your craft. But business and the real world, the real art world is not a thing. in
Yeah.
art school. Maybe
Because-
some, I don't know.
You gotta, that's what we're talking here, no, like you gotta survive as an artist. And how you do that if you only know how to paint, or if you only know how to create? At some point you will need to get strategic about your career. It's like not about your art, but it's about your career, you know, where you want to go, what is the goal, what's the next step, where, you know, like slowly you build this career up. So yes, SAMAMBA works with emerging artists. We mentor them. We did together this mentorship process. I think it took like 3 months around that to understand, like to really dig deep Michelle's process, concept. Like actually these names of the series came because of this process, I think. Yeah. Because of this process, because we understood together, okay, what is the main topic of each one of them? What is the type of movement that we're using here? Because there are 2 different stuff.
Two series, the people series and in situ.
Yeah. So in situ, which is, I'm gonna put here for you just so you.
And really, it's in situ.
Yeah, in situ, but that will be a bit hard to
But it's in
understand.
situ.
Yeah. So, but basically that's the point. Like in situ is more like pop culture, pop art type of series, you know, because we are connecting folk art actually here with pop. And we are saying pop because it is for the masses, you know, it's a type of series that is targeted for the masses,
For popular culture.
And also to like get the income stream, no, that the strategy, that career strategy that we built together in this mentorship process. So it's very interesting process. If you're curious, please write to us on Instagram as well. We have our Instagram here in the description below of this live stream. So yeah, we're gonna tag to like Michelle here afterwards for you to have access to her Instagram as well and her work. But basically, yeah, so Playtime, which is almost done today, the first episode, is to first show this artist that we have been working with in the past months and developing all of this that you're seeing, and everything that we're gonna do from today on, it's based on what together we discussed in a mentorship program that we've built. So it's very focused, it's very personalized as well. And yeah, I invite you to get to know better. We do have one question.
Yeah, I really love this question. I can read it. So I have a general question about art. What do you think about self-taught artists? Do you think they weaken the art world? I love this question so much. I don't think they weaken the art world, but
not at all.
No, they don't weaken the art world. It's what we were saying. They are artists because they paint and they're making money. That's the thing. Like, how are these people that their artwork is... I don't think any artwork is bad, but it's not fine art, you know? Like, I don't think like pink flowers is fine art in a sense.
It depends on the topic too. Like they're artists, they are self-taught, and that they have extremely crafted concepts, you know, like not all of them also paint like the flowers or dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
That, you know.
And actually, I forgot it was like self-taught artists, but because I remember I asked one of my high school art teachers, like, I asked him this, like, what do you think about people that go to college and get a university degree in art versus people that don't? And he said, I mean, everyone has their own path, and I guess this is where it's my answer. Everyone has their own path, and yeah, you just, if you're self-taught, you just have to work a little bit harder to perfect your technique and your craft. But I don't think they weaken the art world. The world needs more artists. So self-taught artists, I think they do boost.
Yeah, and to be honest, does that mean as well? What are we talking about when we say weaken? You know?
Yeah. Because
it can be even a fine, like someone that went to the art school can weaken the art world.
Really,
you know, what are we talking about here? You know, is it about the concept? Is it about the technique? You know, like what is it? So Alexandre now mentioned something. Frida was self-taught. Okay, I didn't know that. Really?
I didn't know that, but I feel like I could have assumed. Like, I didn't know. I didn't have any knowledge that she graduated from a certain place, for example. And it's true. Like, they can make amazing work if you're self-taught.
Yeah. And Sarah, art is for everyone.
It's true. Art is for everyone. Some people forget this.
100%. Because, like, art is not just for sales, it's not just for the big names that we see as well. That's very important, you know. Like, we have art therapy, you know, like that's an extremely important way of healing as well, through art, through creativity. So like there's so many ways we can apply art, which is not necessarily the traditional thinking of like galleries and museums and art fairs, you know. Art, it's a way for us to express ourselves, you know. And this can be in a career path, this can be not only ourselves but in our emotions, but also our ideas. Like it can be or represent something or communicate, you know. And it can be about so many it's so rich, you know. Like, and that's what I love about this, and also that's what the trick about it, because there are so many ways to do art, to make art, you know. But art is for everyone, is for many things as well, you know. It's for many reasons to create art, and I think it's a great way to end this episode actually. And again, thank you so much for joining us today. I don't know if you want to add a closing.
Just thank you so much. I hope some of you can come back. Not next week, but the next week. In 2 weeks, Thursday again. We would love to have you back. Yeah, that would be amazing. And again, as I said, we'll have more 4 episodes live for everybody around all over the world to get to know Michelle Andrea. And later in Barcelona, we're gonna host events, workshops, using her universe. So using her techniques or talking about the topics
that she paints on. So the idea is, again, to connect this emerging artist with Barcelona community, like overall community, people that are interested in arts and culture, but also the strategic partnerships with curators, galleries, art markets, art fairs, or even print shops in the case of In Situ series. So yeah, I'm really thankful for all your support, for you being here, for the questions, for the comments. They're amazing. Again, if you can tag us, like share around the link of this live stream to your friends, or I don't know, or just tag us on stories, whatever. Everything helps us and the artist to grow, to be known, and yeah, to learn as well with you. So I'm Shav, creator of SAMAMBA, now your host, and have been mentoring Michelle as well, like an octopus, and one of many others at the same time. And this is Santo Anthony now playing for you. The DJ our resident DJ basically, he is actually based in Brazil. We've met many years ago, and we've been collaborating together like for a few years now, and it has been always a pleasure. I hope you enjoy a little bit of his DJ set now in this closing of the first episode called Who Are You Really? With Michelle Andrea, and of Playtime season from SAMAMBA. Don't forget to check her out, like again, is this way here up? We have the QR code if you want to get to know more about Michelle. That's the QR code for you to check her out. And yeah, I'll leave you now with like 5-10 minutes of DJ session, so you can do whatever you want to do and still listen to some nice music prepared especially for you by Santo Anthony. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, see you again in 2 weeks, okay? For the next episode, which is gonna explore the process of Michelle. So, yeah. Adeu!
Adeu.
Okay.